Welcome back to Classis Wisconsin Conversations. It's been a long time since we've had a video, but I get the pleasure of having an old friend. Well, we're kind of young, I still think, Chris, but an old friend as far as Classis connections go, for me at least. Chris Bylsma from Brookfield Christian Reformed Church. Chris is one of our delegates to Synod from Classis, Wisconsin. He's our deacon delegate. So, Chris, I'll just give you an opportunity to talk about how you ended up at Brookfield CRC and what your history and movement in the Christian Reformed Church has been like.
Awesome. Yeah, I was blessed to grow up at Brookfield CRC. My parents started going there when I was less than 2 years old when they moved to the Milwaukee area. My grandpa was the pastor there for a bit, and then Pastor Verhulst came, and when I was in first grade, and I've been a part of the church there since then. Was involved in youth group as a kid. I did the sound for night church as a middle schooler, which I think is pretty crazy that they gave me the authority, or just that's an expensive soundboard. I'm sure it was. And I was handling it as best as I could, probably messed up a lot. Remember one time there was a big thunderstorm and the power blipped and everything like got fried or something. And so it didn't work. And everyone was looking back at me. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just a seventh grader.
Seventh graders don't control the lightning.
Yeah. Whatever happened. We made it through, I guess. But yeah, I was just kind of involved in throughout high school in the youth group and had good friends. Was really thankful for that. Went to Dort. While I was there, went to a bunch of different CRC churches while I was there.
Chris, is there? I have students at Dort right now, and I ask them all the time, and I can never keep all the CRC churches straight out there. Is there one in particular that's kind of like a Dort student's primary choice? Like, is there one CRC church that a lot of students go to?
Good question. I think there's so many churches out there. It's insane. You wonder, and they're all full too. It's like, where do all these people come from? But I went to Bethel CRC a lot because they started at 10 o'clock. And I think I knew a lot of other students that went there. But I knew a lot of students went to Orange City. A lot of my friends went to Orange City or First CRC in Sioux Center. So there's quite a diverse, and a lot of people also went to a couple different RCA churches. I know Trinity is a good one, and there was one in Sioux Center that they renamed it, but it was the First Reformed of Sioux Center when I was there.
So you're at Dort, you're still kind of bouncing around in the Christian Reformed Church, and then what happens after Dort?
Yeah, after Dort, I moved to Mozambique for a couple years. I was there for 4 years working on a farm. Was no CRCs in the area that I knew of, so I was just a part of a local congregation. We had a couple different churches. I went to one mostly that spoke English, which was nice, but I would go every now and again to a church with people that I worked with and stuff, worshiping in Portuguese, and Makua was the local language there. So yeah, it was just it was an interesting couple of years. We were building a vegetable growing farm. So I worked with apprentices that were there with us for about 2 years. They lived with us, and we would work on the farm, and we would also do agriculture lessons, Bible lessons, and business lessons. So I got to teach agriculture, which is a ton of fun too. My goal there was kind of to get the agriculture program started with systems operations for different crops and get irrigation going and stuff like that. So it was cool to be a part of the team. We got that kind of running. I trained people to do what I was doing, and I think I probably spent too much time kind of watching people do what I had done. And it was good for me to leave after 4.5 years, and they're doing well. There's always challenges in a third world country, but they're doing really well, and I'm really happy for them and happy to have been a part of the process. It's been a highlight of my life so far. Yeah, really cool experience. Learned a lot, even a second language. So I'm thankful for that. Moved back in 2019 in May and started going back to Brookfield CRC. this kind of felt like home for me. Worked on a farm near Milwaukee. Started getting involved in youth group and other things back in not the soundboard, but doing other things with cameras and the screens and stuff. They must not trust me with the soundboard anymore.
You lost your opportunity.
Yeah, I must have been better at it as a seventh grader than a 33-year-old, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, then I moved back to Milwaukee. I love the city. Like right now that it's summer, there's no better place to be than Milwaukee. I live in the neighborhood called Silver City, just south of Miller Park, and it's where Resonate actually came a couple years ago and started the conversation about a church plant in the south side of Milwaukee. And I think it's pretty cool that that's the neighborhood where I live, the streets that I run on and travel to get to work to and from. So I'm excited about the Pastor Mac here and the church plant that's happening down here in the south side of Milwaukee. So we'll see where that'll lead once I'm done being a deacon. So
and you're doing ag stuff, farming still now, right?
Yeah, I work for Case IH in New Holland, doing tractor development work. It's pretty fun.
So you're serving as a deacon at BCRC. Is this your first time on the council?
It is first time on council. It's been really interesting. It's been really hard, but my faith has grown a lot through it. And I think, and not only faith, but maturity and like understanding and empathy for people that I don't agree with. So many things I've learned from the 3 years on council. It's been really special.
So an opportunity arises for you to go to Synod, and you any arm twisting involved, or were you pretty excited?
Yeah, no arm twisting involved.
Yes.
I was really, I think we were in our January or February council meeting, and I was kind of riding high from a good workout or something, and I don't know, I was just filled with the Spirit or something.
Yeah.
And was just thinking of ideas. I'd only had a couple more months to go. Might as well talk about some of the things that I've been thinking about. And so in the appropriate times of the agenda, I thought, we can do this, or I think about this, and then it was the delegates, or we need to bring delegates for Classis Wisconsin for Synod. Does anyone want to put their name in? I was like, yeah, I'll ride my motorcycle there. And I said that, and I don't regret it yet. So we'll see what happens.
Are you taking the motorcycle all the way to Canada?
The Lord willing, yes. Right. I booked my ticket on the ferry yesterday with the bike. So
any nervousness, or are you still feeling pretty excited and ready to go?
Yeah, I think I have a lot to learn just about kind of how things go at Synod. We had one online meeting last week, and it was really interesting. A lot that I learned just with how people were talking about other things and all of the, is there a second and stuff like that. We do have to do that in our meetings at church too, but I think just in such a big group of people, it'll be really interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting things to talk about, like assisted suicide and relationship with the RCA. That it just to me, it's just been really cool to prepare for it and seeing how God is at work in so many different ways, and I just feel like a tiny little part of it, and that's okay because God still loves me and has plans for me and just who He wants me to be. So, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Synod has been kind of an important place. A lot of eyes have been on Synod the last several years, and so I'm thankful for qualified people like you that we've been able to send from our classes for the last few years. People who are empathetic and thoughtful and principled, and it takes like that whole mix to really be a good delegate. And so you'll do great. Anyway, we can be praying for you. That's usually how we end the program here. Is take some prayer requests and make sure we're praying for other people and other churches.
Oh, I appreciate that. I think the big thing is, three big things. Good weather, because riding a motorcycle in the rain is horrible. I've done it before, so I'm really praying for good weather. That the bike works. It's a 20-year-old bike. There's no reason to think it won't. But bikes can be dangerous. And for Synod, I think just for the wisdom to know when to speak and when to be quiet, the bravery the courage to speak when I feel called to. I think those are probably the three big things.
Hey, thanks, Chris. We'll be keeping you in prayer, and I know this isn't the most watched program in the world, but I hope the people who watch will also lift up Chris and our other delegates. It's Mel, Pastor Chris, and Pastor Keith, yeah?
Yeah, yep. And Keith is from where, do you know? Waupun, Randolph?
He's in Randolph, Second Randolph. Pastor Keith Bice and Pastor Chris Gansky from City Reformed. Mel is from Oostburg CRC, so we're sending two Canadians back to Canada. Mel and Pastor Keith are both Canadians by birth, so we'll send them back, and they'll represent us well.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, thanks, Chris.
Yeah, appreciate it, Zach.